Is Ben Siegel with us at the Capitol right now, Mark? Let me bring in Ben Siegel. What more can you tell us about what you're hearing from your sources there inside the Capitol, the situation as night has fallen, as we see this perimeter being formed around the Capitol?
George, I'm talking to Democrats and Republicans in the House, and it's their expectation, like their colleagues in the Senate, that they continue this business, that they continue this joint session of Congress to certify the election results. Technically, they would go back and resume the sessions regarding the debate over the elector from Arizona. But they want this to happen. They want to get this done. This is their responsibility. But it's just not clear how quickly this can happen. I was talking to one House Republican leadership aide who said they have to go and make sure the floor is safe and they have to clear everything up. You know, there's broken glass everywhere. There's furniture that was put in front of the door to prevent people from coming in. Gas masks probably still on the floor. So there's that work that has to get done in addition to securing the Capitol. You know, people who work on Capitol Hill always joke about it being sort of like a village and almost like Hogwarts from the Harry Potter universe. This is a bunch of buildings with underground tunnels, tons of entrances, exits. It's going to take a really long time to make sure that the campus is safe and secure, and that there aren't still people, elements who want to disrupt the process in the building. So rank and file members, leadership aides still do not know when they will move forward on this. They are all ready to, as a lot of the members are telling you in these interviews, but it's just not clear at this time when that will happen.
Take another minute on that, Ben, because I think you hit on a very important point right there. We see the Capitol right there. There are 3 House buildings on Independence Avenue side, 3 Senate buildings on the Constitution Avenue side, the Library of Congress and the Supreme Court further up the street. And what most people don't understand is that everything you see above ground is matched by an entire warren of offices and tunnels below ground.
That's right. It's basically like a human anthill where the business of the country and the politics get done. Almost every building is connected through multiple tunnels. The members of Congress use these buildings, use these tunnels to get to and from votes during the winter, during inclement weather. They were actually instructed to use these tunnels today because of protests. Ironically enough, and you know, this is tens of thousands of people work here every day when there's not a pandemic, and there are just so many ways in and out of the building. If you're somebody who's protesting, you know, and trying to get in there, trying to disrupt this process, it takes a lot of people to secure the facility and all the entrances and all these different buildings, the 3 or 4 House office buildings, and the Library of Congress buildings, and then the 3 Senate buildings on the other side of the building. And, you know, one thing that I was struck by watching some of these images coming in from the Capitol and some of these really frightening scenes of people breaching the Capitol, you know, for the first time in hundreds of years, people making it through the Capitol and occupying it. You know, there are hallways and places in the Capitol that you pass on your walks every day to and from getting coffee, to or from your desk, that are really unremarkable. You know, it's a window that's locked on both sides that looks out to the Washington Monument that you really can't get access or use. Sort of these hallways that are locked off for security reasons that don't really lead anywhere. And today, these images were just so striking. You had almost all these windows were broken and people were trying to swarm in. And it was almost as if they did not have enough Capitol police officers to deal with anything. It's almost remarkable in one sense that we've only heard of several, of just sort of a handful of instances of gunshots and maybe 1 or 2 injuries from protesters. I'm surprised it's not actually more, quite frankly. So they really have a tall order ahead of them trying to secure this whole facility and also make sure that you know, it's protected so that the members of Congress, the more than 500 members of Congress, can go back to doing their work in both chambers. And then also, you know, we're not even talking about the inauguration. That's going to be another gargantuan task to secure and protect, because everything you're seeing everywhere on the west front of the Capitol facing the Washington Monument, where you're seeing these protesters fan out and you know, they're not even being pushed back from some of these places. That's still the grounds of the Capitol. That's where the members of Congress might even be sitting when Joe Biden takes the oath of office. So they have to really figure out how to not just secure the Capitol, but expand that perimeter and get it in a position where they can actually continue preparing for the inauguration, which is only happening in a couple of weeks.
Ben, you spend most of your days up there on Capitol Hill. You deal with these hundreds, thousands of staffers, most of them young, in the Capitol. As you spoke with everyone today, how would you describe what they were feeling, what their state of mind was as this was all unfolding?
It's just it's a real mix of fear and apprehension and disappointment. Throughout our broadcast, we keep saying, Joe Biden said the siege of the Capitol, and it's almost unbelievable to hear that the seat of American democracy in this country, which is respected and admired from all around the world. People come here from all around the country and the world to work to try to make this country better. To see it, vandalized and broken into and desecrated, it's not something that anybody who ever comes to work here every day, would really expect to happen in this country and really anywhere. And it's just such a magical place where again, people have their differences and they have their disagreements, but there is still comedy. There is still a sense of we're all in this together. We're all trying to make the country better. When you talk to Republicans and Democrats, and for that matter, reporters up there who want people to understand what's happening in their government and how the Congress functions. And you always see something new in the Congress. You always see a new detail, a new statue, a new historical figure. You can get lost in the building just soaking in the history and everything that's happened there. And the fact that we're seeing something now that's never played out in American history. I think people from college graduates to the grizzled veterans and people who have been up on the Hill for decades are just it's disappointment really and just sadness across the spectrum.
Thank you, Ben. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.